Hi everyone, I wanted to show you the new studio setup for 2022. So I'm standing by the door and this is like a little overview of how it looks. So over here I've got my table with my stag on, my little wood spirit, rainmaker ornaments, different sort of things like that. So that's like sort of like my miniature altar space. Then over here I've got my nice big comfy chair, which is currently occupied by Cuddlies. Normally on here I have the skull cushion and the Gothic themed cuddly toys, but I've just found my sock monkeys and my little monster, so I'll put them on there for now. Over here in this tank there is two of my snails, two of the babies because they're a bit too big to go with the others. My kalimbas on top. And then here is my tongue drum, and under my tongue drum is my big tank for the babies. I haven't got a table that it fits on at the moment, so I've put it here for now, but I am going to get a table for it. I thought it was going to fit on here, but it's too deep. Like that table is not big enough. So, whatever, I'll have to get a table. I've got my Gaia display here, and I've put some little eggs for a star in next to it. There's my little rabbit that I got from an antique shop, well, like a vintage shop. One of my many bridge crosses that I made and some bells. Then here is the big tank for the big slimes. So this is where Alvin, Simon, Rick, Theodore, Morty and Jimmy are. I do want to get a bigger tank because they are outgrowing it, but they're all right for now. With Fulica, you don't want to put them in too big a tank too soon because it can hinder their growth, because they'll spend all night looking for food. But what I eventually want is a tank that will fill this whole space, like lengthwise, and then that'll be ideal for quite a lot of my snails then. I've got some more witch bells and different signs and artworks on the wall, and my little ghost. Over here's my fireplace, and don't worry about the nail polish on there. That's one where I was tidying up yesterday because I had to strip everything down and move everything around. I've been looking for that nail polish, so it turns out it's there on the fireplace, so I'll move that in a bit. I've got my pumpkin paintings are still on the wall, and my Ned puppets that I made, and a little puppet I picked up that I'm repairing. My two vintage puppets are there, and some of my past artworks and the collection of little things are there. Over in this corner are my shelves with a whole ton of crap on. I need to reorganise it, but basically it's mostly, bottom two shelves are empty sketchbooks or part-filled sketchbooks. The one with ET on it, that's mainly sketchbooks and things that I've finished. On the top is a random assortment of things, and in the corner is my Kermit. He's from 1970s Kermit toy. I found him in a charity shop a couple of years back, and when I picked him up I had to have him because I used to have one of those when I was a toddler, and I've got photos of me playing with it. So I picked him up. I think he only cost me about £3. I couldn't believe it. In the corner is a set of shelves I made myself with some of my old doll pieces on and my Fuggler, and I've got a little Oleg in an Olaf costume which is adorable, and there's Sweep. I used to watch the Sooty Show when I was a kid, and Sweep was my favourite, and I used to have a puppet of him growing up, like a little hand puppet which broke down and disintegrated, but I found him in a charity shop, so he came home with me. And then I've got Mini E.T. because he was another favourite from when I was a kid, and I've got my original E.T. upstairs. In the corner here, this is where I keep all my nail art supplies, and I've got the vase at the front on the left is my water dish for when I'm painting. My little bat bowl has got my glue, cuticle oil and cuticle dissolver in, and some tweezers. My nail lamp's there. The little dish has got nail tips that I've painted. because I wanted to build like a little display for them. I've got my little astrology skull thing and some more tips on display that I'm going to turn into pieces. They've just got the basic colour on at the moment. Then here I've got my set of Rick shells from Rick and Morty that I made, and that lights up. I've got one of my pagan art pieces in a frame, and my skull I made. I've knocked it just, so that's why it's a bit wonky. Normally it's straight. Then I've got my coffin pen pot that I made with loads of my main stuff in that I use, like I've got a screwdriver because I took my desk apart. I've got scissors, ruler, loads of paintbrushes, pliers, tools, stuff I use all the time. Hot glue obviously, and I've got an old Samsung battery I've got to dispose of, that's why that's there. My phone's there, my little skull, some gum, my headphones for listening to music. I've got on the wall there my swatches of nail polishes I have so far. This is my nail polish display, which I made not so long back. There is a tutorial available for it. I'll put the link in the description. It's just made from an old frame from a charity shop and some scrap wood and wrapping paper, and it works quite well. Ignore the bowl, I've just had my breakfast and my cup of tea, so that's why the cup and the bowl are there. This is my desk, and it fully lifts up like an easel, so it lifts up this way. So if I'm painting, I can have it set up like an easel. That's why I don't have a separate painting easel, because my desk has got it all built in. I've got like a gripping mat on there to stop stuff flying off, and it makes it so that when I tilt the desk up, it helps stuff not to slide off. There is like a rail there that you lift up, you sort of push it to the side and lift it up, and it forms a lip to put the paintings on. My Dremel's down the side there that I use my heat gun and my glue gun. Here is my Ouija board table that I made, and it's got my felt pens and drawing pencils underneath. My bag, and then a new addition to, oh, excuse the floorboards, I do live in a Victorian house, so the floorboards creak. New addition is Finn the fish. I've had Finn the fish for years. He's actually 5 years old, but he used to be in the living room. But what I've done is I've moved the doll cabinet because it took up a lot of room in here, and I'm not changing the display in it or anything, so it's not like I'm using it at the moment, because I've just got all my Bratz dolls displayed in there. So what I did is I swapped Finn the fish for my doll cabinet. So my doll cabinet's now in the living room in an alcove, and then Finn the fish is here. So I get to see and enjoy Finn a bit more, because I don't normally see him during the day because I'm normally in the studio, so it's nice to have him around. He's my last goldfish. He did have 2 siblings, but he's the last one. Something random happened, and when both of them were 4 years old, the siblings, and they both just died the one night, and I woke up in the morning, they were gone, and water parameters are fine, pump was still working, I don't know what it was, but Finn's fine. So whatever it was, it didn't affect Finn. I did medicate the tank and everything to make sure, and he's fine. The water level's a bit low because I've just refilled the tank, because I've just moved him, because I had to completely empty the tank. And obviously I'm still filling it up. I've got to put another bucket full in, but I didn't want to fully fill it overnight. I want to just check I hadn't caused the tank to leak, so that's why I'm topping it up now. I only sort of half filled it yesterday. On top is his massive tub of food that I picked up, because he'd run out of food. That's like an emergency food that I've picked up. I do want to get him some more of his Aquafin or Nutrifin that he normally has, because that seems to make him grow nice and strong. And like I said, he's 5 years old, nearly 6, and he's quite a happy little goldfish. He wasn't happy when I moved him, but he's happy now. Every so often he just keeps staring at me as if to say, well, why are you here? He's a bit confused about the change of scene, but he'll be alright in a couple of days. And then underneath is my front cover eyeshadow palette, and then random empty boxes for storing craft supplies or nail art supplies. They're like just those there. Picked them up from the pound shop and they're very useful. Those ones are empty at the moment. Down the side I've got my flute, and then the other side I've got my clarinet, because I play both of those. not professionally or anything, but I do like to play them. Then I've got my door into the main part of the house, some of my artwork, my big moon tapestry, and I've got fairy lights that go all the way around the tapestry, all the way around my door. I've got to fix that bit where it's all at a diagonal there, because I had to move the lights yesterday so I could fit my nail thing in. This is my Gothic Wall, which has got all my past Gothic projects on. Eventually this wall that's blue is going to be purple as well. I've done the other 3 walls, but I couldn't be bothered to move the tapestry, so that wall will get done at some point. I've still got the paint down there in the corner so I can do it. Bob the Skeleton and all my Gothic projects. That's a dollhouse shaped bookcase that I painted black and put my Gothic stuff in. And that's the writing bureau that I sanded and painted. I've painted it black and put new handles on with little skulls in. Tumbledown Cottage is still there. It's in the corner there. I'm probably going to have it so it's facing outwards, but it's a bit close to the door. So what I'm going to have to do is wall mount it, I think. But I haven't found a spot where it can go where it's not going to get bumped. So it's sitting in the corner there at the moment. That's all still in one piece because everything was glued into place, so it's fine. I've just got to find a way of displaying it because I haven't got space. Over here is my little art trolley thing. It's different colours because I had 2 different ones and I made it so they were alternating colours just because I felt like it. So I've got disposable gloves, wreath base to make another wreath, pencil case, resin, bits and bobs. All my acrylic paints for painting are there. In the bottom is all my stuff for making miniatures and models, some spare batteries, clay tools, brushes, all sorts of that sort of thing. And then we come back around, I've got my haunted house mat. And then this flooring, this is from B&Q. It's normally used like on garage floors and stuff, but I love it. It's soft and spongy. When you sit on it, it feels quite warm, but also it wipes clean. So, because I always spill paint or something, or I've got, you know, if I'm cutting up bits of wood or something, I've got bits of wood everywhere, and it just sweeps up and wipes off this dead easy. So I've put loads of this down, and it saves me replacing the carpet because the carpet's old and knackered, as you can see by the state of it, that's exposed. But this saves me replacing it. I will eventually go all the way under here, but I've run out of mat because I bought 2 more packets yesterday, but I've run out. I've got a spare one that was all battered that's underneath there to give that a bit of sponginess. But I can't go here because that's where the door opens. I'd have to take the door off and shave the door, but yeah, no one's got time for that. I hate hanging doors or fixing doors or anything like that, and it was a nightmare to fix it the last time, so I ain't doing that again. I'll get someone to do that for me at some point, I think, or I'll do it when I'm feeling braver and I've got more time. So yeah, that's it. That's my art studio, newly arranged and set up for 2022, and yeah, I'm really pleased with it. It took me all day yesterday. Took me ages to move that doll cabinet, but I'm a lot happier with how it's set up. I've got a lot more floor space for bigger projects, which is good, and it's nice to have Finn the fish hanging around, even though it keeps hiding from me. I am going to get him like a couple more plants because he does like to hide behind the plants. And if you're wondering why he doesn't have a friend, obviously his siblings died, but Finn has always struggled with other fish. He used to get picked on a little bit by the other 2, and he was quite small when the other 2 died, and he's gone massive now, so obviously he was competing for food and wasn't doing very well with the others. I tried putting him with someone else, but the other fish was starting to pick on him. He's obviously quite a timid fish, and he seems a lot happier on his own. Like, he won't come out when there's other fish in there, so I've left him to it. I mean, he's like, what? He's 5, nearly 6 years old now, and he's quite happy, and he's quite active, as you can see. So I'm going to leave him on his own. Plus, The size of tank is in anyway. It means he's got lots of filtration and good water quality for him, so I'm not going to bother about adding siblings. When he eventually goes, I'll probably get some more in there, but I'll probably get minnows next time. You know, do you remember the minnows I used to have? The minnows only do 5 years though, so they've all gone now. He's outlived them all. I might get some more minnows in there and have a little shoal of minnows or something. I'd have to change the filtration though because it's too strong. Or I'll just get 2 little fish for when he's gone, maybe. But he's going to stay in there till he's ended. I mean, he's probably going to be in there for a very long time. I mean, he's nearly 6. And Percy the goldfish did 14 years. So we're going to see if Finn can break Percy's record. He's the current record holder at the minute because his siblings died at 4 for some reason. So, yeah, we're going to see if he can beat Percy's record. So, yeah, that's my studio. Hope you enjoyed the little tour around. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.